Ah, son of a biscuit. Yeah.
Just because like he's getting stronger and he's getting better, and so I have to use a little bit more. I didn't want to, like, I try not to use a lot of it because, you know, obviously I'm physically stronger and bigger. So I try to kind of hold back and, like, you know, try to use more technique against his strength and technique. And
Yeah.
I got to put a little bit more now.
Now you got to muscle up on him.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. Well, that's the game, man.
Well, it's good for him because it means he's progressing, getting better. I just
yeah, for sure.
I gotta keep my I no chump status. At least for 16-year-olds. Whatever, man. We have to get him a shower cap do-rag.
What was that? Do-rag jiu-jitsu?
Oh, do-jitsu rag. Yeah, we're gonna create our line of do-jitsu rags.
There you go.
And so we're going to talk with one of the kids' old teachers who they're Muslim, or like they practice. They're Muslim, right, Pop?
Yes, they're Muslim.
Yeah, they're black Muslims, and she's always wearing the hair pieces, the do-rag things.
Yeah.
And so we're gonna make shower cap do-rags, but like for jiu-jitsu, but do them all crazy like the rash guards.
There you go.
We can put the little jewels on them to bedazzle.
That's more style than anything. That's your always over performance over looks. And so that's how you pick your shoes, right?
We're gonna target a demographic, and we're gonna make some that say Ken Corn Karn, and only if you play pro wrestling on Nintendo, you know what that means.
What's going on, Rebecca? How are you? Let's see here. All right. So I'm just waiting for my partner. Noah's coming in just a second here. We're gonna I got the stream going on YouTube as well. Let's see what we got. I'm just pulling up the curriculum for today.
Have you noticed anybody you don't recognize that logs into the YouTube or the Zoom feed?
Yeah. I'm inviting everybody to come.
Well, not next. I mean, I'm putting it out there too. I was just curious if people are inviting them and joining in.
I've had a few like kids just jump in. One time I didn't realize it was like two siblings of another student, but my student wasn't on there, but the siblings were, and they were asking questions, and we were like, who are these kids? Like these random kids just jumped on the feed. Like
they're still under the students saying, we're like, what do you mean? Why are you asking this? You should know.
But you know what was funny is they had good questions. Like they actually were asking pretty interesting questions. You know, for beginners, they were pretty good. Yeah. So I thought that was pretty cool. So when Noah gets here, oh, there we go. So basically what we're going to do today is we're going to do our solo drills together. And then I'm going to show you guys a partner drill. If you have a partner, that's awesome. You could use your partner. If you don't have a partner, you know, not the end of the world. But we will do some techniques that probably will require a partner. That's, you know, we're trying to make a meal that has something to eat for everybody right now. So some stuff you might be able to do it, and some stuff you might not be able to. But Daniel Caratoni, I think that's how you say his last name. He's a photographer, friend of mine from, I don't know if he's still in Santa Cruz, but he was around that area. But he's got a really cool video out about making a grappling dummy, and he made one, and then he put another one out where he showed how to make one with a head, and it's just using like hoodies, a couple towels, and a jiu-jitsu gi, and it looks pretty cool. Like it actually looks way better than the Dookie grappling dummies I made a long time ago. And I went to Home Depot and bought like foam and electrical conduit and duct tape and all kinds of wacky stuff. And it didn't really work out that well. The one he did looks pretty good. It's just the upper body with a head and arms. But I think he may figure out how to do the legs if there's enough demand, which is, I'm hoping like version 3 has legs on it. So
I just reposted, shared them on our Facebook Inside BJJ Academy, 10th Planet. So if they want to see both of the videos that Daniel made, they're available. I reposted them on our page.
Okay, so if I don't know if you could hear that, I think you could, but Stella said she just reposted those videos on her page. Hey, Stella.
Yes.
Do you think you could put a thing on our story that class is live right now?
Yes,
okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
Actually, I'll go live right now.
Okay. So here's what I want to talk about before we start. Like, I know this is, and I say this a lot, but I think it's important because we're all kind of taking the situation day by day. And I think that's the only way you can take it. You can't take it any more than that. It's just like everything else, you know, you can't eat the whole pizza in one bite. You got to take it one piece at a time or you're going to have trouble. And I don't want you guys to get ahead of yourself, and I'm not trying to get ahead of myself. So I'm taking it one day at a time, and I'm trying to be the best that I can be each day, do what I can do each day. Obviously we're limited. Not everybody has mats or training partners or whatever, right? Everyone's got different situations, space, right? But I wanted to talk about, which is a concept we talk about a lot. I've been pulling out my old jiu-jitsu shirts and taking pictures with them and telling the stories behind them because it's like incredibly boring right now, right? We're all trying to find stuff to do. And I have this one jiu-jitsu shirt that says Kaizen on it. And Kaizen is like, you guys have probably heard of Kaizen. It's a basic idea, which is like improvement every day, 1% better every day. And I'm really trying to bring that mindset to this time period. So how can I get a little bit better every single day? And so some of the things that I'm doing, and I mean, it sounds dorky, but like you have to get momentum, you have to get leverage, and you have to get some traction going for yourself so you could make some progress. So some of the things I'm doing is like, I'm making sure that I take vitamins, not because I'm afraid of getting sick, but because I keep telling myself like, dude, I got to take vitamins. I got to take care of my body. I need to take fish oil or this or that. Well, so it's like, dude, I have no excuse. I'm literally home all day, and there's a cabinet right in the other room, and it takes me like 2 minutes to go take my vitamins out and take them. So I'm making sure that every single day I'm doing those kinds of things. Like, how can I get just a little bit better each day? So I'm like taking vitamins at night, making sure I hit the rowing machine in the morning, swinging the kettlebell a few times each day, just knocking off little things, trying to make little improvements, because this time period, the way I'm looking at it is I'm treating it like a gift. This is a gift that I'm never going to get again. All right. Everything is on pause, not just my life. It's not like just me. I'm the only one on pause and everybody else is out there doing their thing and progressing and I'm getting left behind. We're all on pause right now. And how many times have you thought to yourself or told yourself or heard somebody else say, you know, I wish I could get ahead. I wish I could catch up. I wish I could do this and I wish I could do that. Well, you have time right now to accomplish some of those things. Like, and maybe you're not going to be able to accomplish all of them, but you have a lot of time to invest in yourself right now to make yourself better. All right. And you might not be able to go out and get the dream job right now or the this or the that, but you can definitely make investments in yourself that can pay dividends beyond this. The alternative is it's really easy to use this time as an excuse to slip into bad habits. Like, well, I'm not going to my regular gym because it's closed. So then I'm not going to eat a good diet. Why? Because I'm not working out. So whatever, I'm just going to eat what I want because I'm stressed. I get it. I'm going to drink what I want because I'm stressed. I get it. I'm going to stay up super late. I'm going to let all my habits drop. And then at the end of this, however long it is, what if it goes for 2 months? Imagine 2 months of just letting yourself go. If you didn't like if you have a lawn, if you didn't cut your grass or do anything for 2 months, imagine what it's going to look like if you walked out there. You see the difference in 2 weeks, right? Let alone 2 months. And so I'm trying, and I'm preaching to myself mostly, to be honest with you, but I'm really pushing to use this time as a way to make myself better and to treat it as a gift that I'm not going to get back, because the time's going to be gone anyway, whether I spend it going to the gym, doing my regular thing, or staying at home or whatever. The time's going to be gone either way, and I'm never going to get it back again, no matter what. It's never coming back. Time is your most valuable currency. You can't replace it. Once it's gone, it's gone. So I'm asking you guys, and I'm challenging you guys to ask yourself, what are you doing with this time? Like, what are you trying to accomplish in this time period? Where are you trying to go? Who do you want to be when this is all said and done with? Because it could be something that changes your life in a powerful way, or in a good way, or it could be something that totally sets you back. And it's going to set some people back, and they're not going to recover from it, unfortunately. And it doesn't have to happen. All right. It doesn't have to happen. So let's treat it like a gift. Let's stay on top of it. Some of the things I'm doing to do that is I have a planner that I always use in my day-to-day life, right? And I'm continuing to use it. So I get up in the morning and I'm writing down what I'm doing each day, and I'm putting little things in and I'm filling it out, and I'm making sure that I stay on it. I don't want to just like let it get away from me. So I'm doing that, taking my vitamins again, staying on top of it, getting conditioning in. And then I talked with Coach Casey last night on the podcast, and he had a really good idea. He talked about that bottom 10% of your list. You have all these things you're trying to do every day on a regular life, right? Blah, 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 blah. And there's things at the bottom of that list that we always knock off because we're like, I don't got time for that. I don't got time for that. I don't got time for that. I'm always prioritizing what's the most important, what's the most important. Well, now you have time to get to that bottom 10%. And when you knock that bottom 10%, this is what you do. You raise your baseline from here, you raise your standard that's down here, and you raise it up. Boom. Because now you don't have this bottom 10% anymore. You wiped it off, and your bottom is actually higher than what it was now. So you're starting to raise your standard up and not accept, not accept that junk drawer in your kitchen, not accept the dirty closet, not accept the dirty toilet, the overgrown yard, the dad that doesn't take his vitamins or whatever, right? I'm trying to raise that up. So I want to encourage you guys, small improvements, stay positive, take it day by day. We're getting through it. This is jujitsu. Life has us mounted, and it's got a heavy mount, and it's bearing down, and it's smothering us, and it's got a big hairy chest, and it's like in our face, and we all want to panic and go ape and like, get out, let me out, and give up an arm and get tapped. We got to stay calm. We got to get some frames. We got to make small movements. We're going to get out of it. We're going to be okay. All right. So let's get started with our solo drills. We're going to do our sit-outs. These are the 5 drills we're focusing on this week are mostly wrestling style drills. So we're going to do sit-outs, and then we're going to do sit-arounds. And we'll do some leg circles. Those are pretty easy. We'll do some hip ups, and then we'll do some hip throughs. All right. So the sit-outs are going to look like this. Start with our hands on the ground. We're going to step up and sit through and come back and do the same thing on the other side. All right. So I'm going to set a timer on my phone.
And Coach Tim's going to watch everyone do their sit-outs.
I'm going to do them and watch. I got to find the app on my phone to set a timer. I'm gonna learn how to use my phone during this time period. Okay. All right, I'll set a timer for 2 minutes. All right, is everybody ready?
No.
Let's go. Too late.
Okay, let's see. I'm live on Instagram. We're going to see who's on Zoom. We got Sean, Rebecca, and Jesse, and Rocky, and then we have people also watching on YouTube. So look at those. I want to see them. I'm gonna. think I can do the gallery view so I can see. Oh, Sean is driving his, are you coming home from work? Sean, I think, is coming home from work.
Yeah, I'm not paying attention that close though. I'm driving.
Oh yeah, you should pay attention to your driving, Sean. But now you have to do double class. Rebecca, those look really good. Make sure your head goes up on those. Looking nice.
2 minutes is a long time.
You know what? That's what I thought when I had Pee Wee's class this morning, and we had 2 minutes for what was it, army crawls? And I was like, oh my gosh. And it's funny because our Pee Wees, like 4-year-olds, love to do, like a lot of them have requested to do army crawls. Good job, team. And share this with everyone so everyone can join in and you could rewatch all these videos on YouTube. Especially kids, our Pee Wees and kids, we try to make them so
Time.
join them.
Nice. All right. All right. Here's our sit around. Just like a sit out, except we're going all the way around. I've heard it called a box as well. So you're gonna go here, you're gonna put your hand on the ground, come back, thread the needle, and then you go the other way. Up, sit through, hand on the mat. As you bring your other hand around, this leg threads under. Make sense? So one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll go 2 minutes, all right? Exercise.
Okay, let's 1, 2, 3, 4.
So when you're wrestling, sometimes you get here, and instead of going this way, you go back.
Here. Boom.
Put your hand on the ground. You go the other way. There it is.
Let's watch everyone on Zoom doing theirs. Like those fancy spats, Rebecca.
My wrists are hurting. There you go. Boom. There it is. And awesome. All right. Next one, super easy. We're going leg circles. So what we want to do when we do these is we're circling, but we want to allow our hips to start moving and lighten up. I don't want my hips so static where I'm just doing leg movement. I want to let my hips kind of start floating and moving. So we'll go a minute in one direction, and then we'll do a minute in the other. All right, let's go. Begin.
Alexa, your niece said, good job.
All right, thank you, Alexa.
Good job on the hip movement.
Make sure you keep your head off the ground.
Okay, Instagram followers, I'm gonna put an end. My battery is kind of dying. So if you want to still follow along Instagram, you can go to YouTube. It's youtube.com/InsideBJJ, or go to our Zoom, which the link is on both of our Instagrams, and you could
Go the
watch
other
or join
direction.
in. Remember, we're doing this for everyone, and we do miss our students a lot. Okay, bye peeps.
Ah.
So like host classes with under 10 people, right?
Not anymore. That's supposed to be open. Now they can fine you.
Can't do privates either.
Probably if you kept it real, real deal.
Good job, guys. Keep it up. I'm gonna put up Mr. Gracie guy here to watch you guys. Make sure you guys are doing a good job. He has a mean look on his face,
Oh,
like a mean mugging look.
time.
Here,
Nice
show them
job.
the mean mugging look.
All right, next one. We're just doing our hip ups. So when we elevate our hip, we want to pop it at the top. All right. So I want to stay on my shoulders. I'm going to kind of get my hip up, and then I'm going to extend my body. You know how you open a book? A book is closed, and then you can open a book like this. Well, think of your body as like a book. And this is the middle of the book where the book would close and be folded. I want to open that book up. So I bring my hip up and I open the book. All right. So we're here. Open the book. All right. Make sense? Let's go. Can you open the door? It's hot.
Yes, absolutely.
Open our door too.
And if you guys start feeling into it, you could start shooting little triangles. You can rotate your hips a little. You can picture yourselves winning worlds with a dope triangle. Or scoping out your favorite training partner.
Come up.
Huh?
Come up on these videos.
Just like "30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Come on, let's go. It's just like class, except I'm your remote taskmaster. I am your digital overlord. 10 seconds, make them count. Not getting this Wednesday back again. Regardless of if you're isolated or not. All right. Next, we're going all the way through. So it looks like this. We come up, we pop, and we're gonna sit all the way up. And then we switch. When we sit up, one knee goes down, the other foot comes up. Boom, and we post on the knee and our opposite foot. Pretty standard movement, all right? Let's go. Really drive that hip through.
When you do the hip, you're just gonna boom.
Right. 1 minute.
That way, okay?
Okay.
You gotta go all the way. Allow yourself the space.
Thank you.
Like you can go further. You're keeping your feet too close together. Okay, watch my feet. From here, when I come up, look at how my leg is. I'm here. Yours, like your weight bunched up.
On. All right. Dang.
You have to do it correctly though. Off the. You gotta go up high enough to get the triangle correctly so when you come down.
All right. So,
Yeah, he's the one that's doing
Yeah.
it.
good job, guys. I'm going to show you guys a couple things you can do with a partner. If you don't have a partner,
Hey, Tim, before you do that, can I give a little bit of insight on the hip ups that we were just doing?
okay, yeah.
So, you know, like Tim was talking about when you do the triangles, but if you do these hip ups in a certain way, when you punch your legs up and then it's like you're trying to grab something on your way down, that's like when you're shooting your arm bars because you have to get your hips up and then you got to clamp down with your legs. So what I was trying to do is go back to that is going up, like I'm trying to jump and like catch something as I'm coming, as opposed to just going up and down, you jump up and you kind of get that little extra push like you're trying to grab. That's like going over their shoulder or going around their lat for the arm bar.
Yeah, absolutely. So like if your mental picture is that you're capturing something at the top, it kind of helps you define that you need a good bite at the end. Like you can have a good hip pop, but if your legs don't have a good clamp, then there's nothing there, right? You're going to get stack pass probably when you shoot those hips up, right? You want to have that clamp with your legs where they bite this way, like for an arm bar, or they're triangle clamping, right?
Yep.
Something we could do to kind of help with that. This one's with a partner, and I'm trying to think if you could do this with a chair. I'm going to show you with a partner, and then I'm going to grab the chair and see if there's a way to do it with a chair, but I'm not 100%. I haven't done this one with a chair, but with a partner, it looks like this. Your partner's going to be in your guard, and this is all work on the legs here, right? So I'm not going to use my hands at all. My partner's going to kind of feed me the arms a little bit, about like this. The arms are up a little bit higher on her chest there, right? So I'm going to step on the hip with my foot, and I'm going to elevate my hip up and clamp with this knee. Now my opposite side leg needs to chop. This is the most important part of the armbar, is this chopping leg. It often gets forgotten, right? It needs to come up and clamp. And you could see I knock my partner's head. It's on center right here. I take it off of center. And what that does is it makes it easy for me to bring my leg over his head to finish the armbar. And I'm not using my arms yet, right? So one more time. We have our guard closed. I step on the hip. This forces me to keep a tight connection with my legs. I chop, the head's off center. and now I bring my leg around. My goal when I do arm locks off my back is to keep my back on the mat. If you're having to roll your back to the side, it's because you're not chopping with your legs. And when you do that, that's how you get your guard pass. You get stacked. All right. Most of the time in jiu-jitsu, we're trying to not be flat on our back, but for these attacks, you need to be flat. All right. So you're going to do the clamp. 1, 2, 3. And now you switch to the other side. You're going to go 1, 2, 3. And you're just kind of walking through the movement. So with your partner, you're going to do 10 each. Sorry, bud. Oh. Sorry. I'm going to grab a chair while you guys do those and see if I can do these with a chair.
Here, I'll chill, man.
Or chair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can figure this out.
Would a person be like this way?
Nope.
Like this one.
Chop? I don't think you can. I don't think it's maybe if you manage the chair with your hands, because when you chop, the chair needs to turn. I'm not sure you could accomplish it.
It's a body pillow.
Maybe a body pillow.
You can at least get the clamp and the turn.
Oh, maybe like this. Oh, here we go. Maybe like this. You can kind of fake it if you bring the chair down on top of you, like it's in your guard. You're here. You clamp, you bite, and you let your head turn off center. You pretend you knock them over. Whoa, and you bring your other leg around.
No, she's not.
1, 2, 3. See, all these drills are things that you can do. A genius didn't make them up. It's just, somebody without a partner made them up, basically. And I used to do a lot of chair drills and solo drills when I first started jiu-jitsu because I was only going to class once a week. And so I wanted to practice at home. And my kids were really little. Noah was like 2 years old when I started. So, I was just doing using the couch, using chairs, using whatever to help me do the techniques. All right.
You sit here.
Get through those. And then I'm going to show you guys a couple more things. They are partner specific, but I think we can find a way to work them with a chair. One of
here. Okay.
Try to get a little more swivel. Stop letting your car fall down. Remember, you want to use whatever's on the hip to push yourself to turn.
Big chop, Jesse. Good.
The other side. Oh, yeah, long clamp. Up in the front. Chop hard. Remember, you want
Watch
this
Rocky.
to push me that way.
Hey, Sean, how are you?
Good.
Let's go, Jesse. Step on the hip. Clamp. Elevate. Jesse, that foot, when you step on the hip, you got to clamp with it also to pinch in against your dad's shoulder.
Okay.
Like your right foot, step on the hip. Now pinch the knee against the shoulder tight. Like put your foot on the hip more, not just the back. Yeah. Now pinch that leg in. Lift your hip up. Now go back. Don't clamp yet. Don't even clamp yet. Don't worry about the clamper. Just put that clamp leg back down. Yep. Now elevate off your right foot. Lift your butt up. Now pinch your knee in. No, Rocky, pull your arm. Yeah. You don't want Rocky to pull his left arm out, right? So you're clamping that in tight. Now chop with your other leg. Boom. Nice. Now bring that leg around. Nice. You getting that grappling dummy built, Rebecca? Nice. There you go, Sean. That's what's up.
You gotta get high with that. Yeah, clamp, boom. What's cramping up?
Rocky, did you get your reps in yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did this same exact drill like a couple months ago with Samuel.
Nice. So you know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that one's a little hard to do without a person. You know what I mean? Because you need a solid structure that's not going to move around. A chair kind of moves a little bit. Yeah, see that hip up right there? That's real important.
You gotta really push here. You gotta take it in the armpit almost, that chopping leg.
Yeah, like you're trying to kick him in
That's
the
what's gonna
head.
make him go.
And Jesse's hair makes it even more dramatic.
Yeah,
Yeah, it looks like you knocked a tree over.
Make the wind blow.
Watch out. Okay, so let me show you guys another arm bar here. And you could use a chair for this, or if you have a dummy, you can kind of just pretend you're swiveling your arm under. But this is a real good way. It's like an assist when you do an arm lock. And we teach the little kids, when we teach them arm bar, we teach them to do it this way. Your partner's hands are up. You can grab the wrist or you can grab the elbow. Without a gi on, the wrist is a little bit better of a grip. The elbow is a little trickier to hold on to. But, you know, if you got a good grip, you might be able to do that. Your opposite hand, this is the helper. You're going to take your hand and you lift your hip up and you're going to slide it under your partner's knee. Now, if your partner's like, let's move this way a little. Like rotate like that. Yeah, thank you. You can see how Noah, he's doing the right thing where he's keeping it compressed so I can't get in. So I would have to use my guard legs and keeping them clamped and pull my legs to me like this. And that opens up the spot for my hand to go in. All right. As my hand goes in, I'm going to pull my head to my hand. Remember, I don't want my back to come off the mat too much. So as I pull my head in, now I have to get my clamping leg up. I'm not stepping on the hip though. On this opposite side, I swing it out like a pendulum. So it looks like this. And now I elevate my hips up and I clamp. And then I can go back, switch hands, and repeat on the other side. So we grab the wrist, I elevate, I get underneath, and now as I bring my legs up, I let them turn out. And if you have trouble with that, you can put your foot on the mat and start turning yourself. Elevate your hip up and clamp. All right. So with your partner, if you have a partner, you're going to do 20. If you don't have a partner, you can use your chair to simulate the swivel. It's not perfect, but we're working with what we got, right? So you're here, you have your guard, you're going to put your hand underneath, like there's a leg here, and you're going to pull yourself in and swivel. You go to the other side, pull yourself in, and swivel. All right. Not a perfect setup. You could do it. If you tilt the chair on top of you, you may be able to set it up this way, perhaps, where you swim under and swivel. But you'll have to, it depends on what kind of chair you're dealing with. I hate that bistro chair because it's so light. It flips all over the place. But you can do that. If you have a gi jacket, you could put a jacket. Let me see where my gi jacket is. So I have a pool noodle that I can use is my arm. So you can put the pool noodle through the jacket and you put the jacket on the chair and you tie it. Now, I know you guys should have a belt. Some of you. I'm promoting my chair to black belt. Been a good chair. So you may be able to go like this. So now we have some arms to work with. We reach underneath, we grab the arm, boom, and we go. We come around, grab the arm, reach underneath, and go.
Wrist now.
So you can play that game. And if you build the Daniel Caratoni dummy, you could attach it to a chair maybe. I see you scrambling over there, Rebecca. Keep going. We'll wait for you.
Grab the wrist before you put the hand under. You can still guide your hand, go, but.
Practicing this.
Now when you're going, you're gonna push off this when you go that way now.
I want to do some more.
There you go. So no detail on that pup.
Almost feels like you're armbarring me without you. Like it hurts a little bit, you know?
So
It's like,
let's check this arm to go this way. So, boom. Now as I'm going, I'm bringing my chopping leg up to your armpit. And I'm swinging.
Get some real.
It's like one of those side things. Lift your arm up and look. I'm going, using this to push off of, to get my hip out, and then put your arm in. And then when I switch, I'm pulling this out to grab here, and I'm pushing off of here. It's just like when we do the regular armbar runs. Remember those?
Yeah.
Boom. Here, and then you gotta push off with this leg to get the spin. Yeah. So you're still using that same concept to push yourself off when you're rotating back to switch sides. And then once you get over, you kind of like scooting out more.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
You could put a hoodie inside of your gi, 2 hoodies facing opposite directions with a pillow inside where the head would be, and now you have a head, which will help you quite a bit. So, we're looking at just setting up some basic arm locks off of our back, with dealing with this idea of using our chopping leg is the main leg. When we do arm bars, real quick, we get in this rush to bring the leg that we have to bring around the head. We get in a rush to bring this one around the head, but this is really not the main leg. This is the finisher. This is the 20%, and the rest of the other leg is the 80%. All right. So like Noah's head is on center right now. It's right over me. So in order for me to get this arm bar, I'm either going to have to like super adjust my body to the side over here, right? Chop him down and bring my leg around. So if we're going to move our own body, we get our hand anchored. And look, I use this to turn my body. Now I'm on the side and I can swing around. Whoa. But if I don't have that grip, if I'm setting up a regular arm lock from guard, then when I have arm control, I'm going to step and this leg is going to chop. And that's how I make that movement. I cut his head off of center. And we have our arms, so we push, and it's easy to bring this leg over. And there's your arm lock. So the 2 ways we're looking at is, one is swiveling under to create the misalignment, right? And then swiveling the hips And then the second is to get arm control, and I'm stepping on the hip, and this leg is chopping to cause the misalignment. Generally, we do use our hand as a helper to push the head and bring that around. What I want to avoid is this, is getting here and then bringing my leg up like this and then exposing my back and getting past. Super common. You see that, like if you watch tournaments in jiu-jitsu, if you watch kid tournaments or like white belt, blue belt level, you'll see that mistake made a lot where the back comes off of the mat. Instead of the leg chopping, you'll see the back come off the mat and then the person gets their guard pass. And there's nothing worse. Like there are other things that are worse, but you know, I like to exaggerate. It sucks in jiu-jitsu when you're going for a submission and you throw it out there and your reward is that you get your guard passed and you give up points and you get smashed. It's like, duh. So then what happens is we're like, I'm not opening my guard now. Like I'm staying tight. I'm not doing anything. But that's really a stifling choice, right? It's not the right choice. We have to feel really comfortable opening the guard up and trying things and doing things. And so kind of knowing like where your back needs to be when you're setting up arm bars, flat on the mat, flat, not coming off the mat sideways, right? But more staying flat. And when I turn, I'm turning my body, but my shoulders are staying on the ground, all right? So again, to reiterate the two ways I'm making my, to armbar Noah, if we're lined up, it's not going to work. I need to be off to the side. It needs to be like an L shape, okay? So I can do that by anchoring and turning my own body. And now I've achieved that angle on the side here. Or instead of moving my body, I control, I clamp, and I move his body. I'm still lined up where I was in the beginning, but I shot him off to the side, a little friendly head push, and my leg's over, and I have the armbar, all right? A couple things that happen in here is when, especially like when we're swiveling and we get in here, boom, is our partner stacks us, right? They start, yeah, we get stuck. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. So watch, I take my hand and I bring it to the front of the hip. Now I'm going to go all the way under. I'm going to go all the way through on the arm lock and come off to the side. Now I can, sometimes your partner rolls over. Sometimes you stay here. This is fine. If I'm here, I'm going to take this arm and pull it up to my chest. Whenever you're doing like a belly down arm bar or you're inverting, you always want to be able to see your partner's feet. You're always looking at the legs. Hardly ever are you like this looking at the head. Almost always you have a rotation and you're looking at the feet, and this is how you finish. All right, one more time. Yeah, let me move the chair. And I know this one's hard to do without a partner, so this is just a little bit more of a tip for you. So we're here, boom. I'm gonna set up my arm lock, bam, and when I get here, my partner stacks me up and I'm like this. And it's like, oh no, what do I do? So I take my hand that's under the leg and I put it around his torso and I start spinning my head under and coming through. Your partner may roll, you may end up that way, or your partner might stay on the side and you end up this way, all right? Does that make sense? The words that are coming, man, the sun's bright out there, huh? Dang. Let me shut that curtain a little. So 2 ways to set the armbar up. Oh, nice. You got the dummy going, Rebecca. That's awesome. You built that dummy in the course of the class. Pretty. How long did that take you to do? Not bad, pretty fast. Let me unmute you. How long?
It took me like the first 2 moves you did.
Oh, that's all right though. Now it's built. Nice. That's awesome. Sean, if you watch that tutorial, Stella posted it up on our Facebook. It shows you kind of how to put that dude together. Nice, good. That's the move. And then you go all the way under. Yes, that's perfect. Bring him over the head. Yep. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Nice work. Right. So that's the regular armbar where you chop, and then the spinning armbar where you hook under. And then what do you do if your partner stacks? You go all the way under, right? You have to commit in your head to like, I'm going all the way under for the arm lock. I'm going to spin all the way through. Nice. There it is. Now, let me show you guys the next option that we have in here, which is a little exotic, but not that exotic. And it's when your partner stands. And I'm going to go really slow because we don't have a ton of space here, but you have access to the legs. All right. So not even if they don't stand, you still have the opportunity. Okay. So we're in here and I spin through and I get in here like this. My partner starts to posture up a little and I start to lose it. All right. So my chopping knee, and I'll show you from another angle, I'm going to drop it inside and now I'm going to come around here. I'm going to push you backwards. So what? Yeah. Boom. And you're going to roll over this way. No, open this way. This way we have access to drop the knee in and we could drop the foot in. And you can see we're already set up in cross ashi. We can get on the knee bar or we can go right into our leg attack. All right. Let me show you guys from a better angle. So I'm here. Boom. I'm trying to set up my arm bar. Wham. And then my partner steps up. Well, I start to lose it. I hook under the leg. Watch what I do with my knee here. I drop it inside. I'm going to open up a little bit so you can see my knee drops inside just a little. I bring this leg from up on the head. I bring it around. Boom. Now, if I can't push my partner backwards, I use my foot here to drive my partner down. Now, once they're down, I can swivel and lock, and I have them in this double outside ashi. And I can get right back to you, okay? One more time. Yeah, that was a little easier to do. The one where you push them backwards happens more like, I'll have you stand up, is when your partner stands. So you get in here, and your partner gets up, yeah, and you go like this. All right, so you're on that kind of setup. The other one is a little easier when they stay down. So let me show you that because there's limited space and I think it's a little easier to do. Let's turn even more this way. Yeah. So we're like this. I hook and I come around. My partner postures. So this knee, I drop. I connect my knee to my elbow on the inside here. And now this top leg, I'm bringing it around as I come up on my shoulder, and I'm going to push my partner down with it. Now that he's down, I have options. I could kick, I could slide in, I could put him in X, I can sit up and do a technical stand-up, or I could bring my legs to the outside and push him down. And I have opportunity to go ashi, I could cross, get on the heel, I could open him up and go into honey hole. Lots of opportunity. The point that I'm trying to make is that when Noah, if he puts me in an arm bar, right, I have a couple ways. Go, whichever arm you want. All right, so if I'm here, when I start stacking, right, this is cool, this is cool. But once I start extending my body upwards like this to pull out, I'm exposing, if he rolls out, I'm exposing this inside leg where he can drop his knee to his elbow. This one comes around and he pushes under my armpit and pushes me down. Now my leg is light. As I turn to face him, and here he sets up his attack. If I don't turn and face him, if I stay here, right, I might try to run out. The problem with this is that he can cross over and set me up into all these slice attacks. Yeah, he can come up here and hug, and put me in a lot of serious trouble. All right. So is the attacker now, we know the traditional route with the arm bar is like armbar, triangle, omoplata. We know that. But now if we start throwing in like armbar, triangle, knee attack, armbar, knee attack, armbar, triangle, omoplata, armbar, knee attack. Now you're giving your opponent different looks, right? They're worrying about the upper body. And while they're worrying about the upper body, you've changed focus and you've dropped down to the lower body. Does that make sense? That's the idea that we're working with. Makes sense, Sean? You good, Sean? Awesome. Rocky, Jesse, everyone's clear? Awesome. Are there any questions? You guys have any questions on this lesson or on anything in general? Like, this is super duper open up the Jiu-Jitsu vaults time. Like, I want to help in any way I can. So if you guys have anything, throw it out there. If you don't, that's okay too. I want to watch the video we're going to break down today is Hoyler Gracie, Eddie Bravo, ADCC 1. All right. So go ahead, Rocky.
So back to the arm bar where we're spinning under, there's a couple of details that will help also. So when you're going from the, when you're grabbing and going under to help pull yourself through, if you can't get your arm into the torso, you can also find their far side ankle and start pushing off that with the side of your wrist here, and that's going to allow you to turn through. Because sometimes they have the way they're stacking you, their knee might be up by their torso tight fit, so you can just go right over their foot and then just push off their ankle to allow you to get that spin.
So are you talking about when you're here, you'll be in my guard. So you're here and you get stacked. You can't get this hand out to get in the torso. You go across to the other ankle.
Well, no, so they'll stack you. So Noah would put his stack foot up, like his right foot to stack. And so now let's say you can't get inside the torso with your right arm because his is close to his stomach. You just go right above his outside foot and push off his ankle to help you swivel through.
Gotcha. Right here. Nice.
Yeah.
That's a great tip.
So there's that one.
Yeah, step up like this, you can't get it. That makes sense.
Right. So if you just knife your arm right at their ankle, and you're going to be using that to push to help get you through.
Yeah.
Now, if you're going to do that same movement off the traditional arm bar, you have to switch hands. So I don't know if you guys can see. So traditional arm bar, we're here. He stacks. Now, if I want to do that swivel, because my right arm is the one that went across to grab it, I'm going to have to switch so I can come around.
Yes, right.
And get that there.
Yeah, that makes sense. So what we're dealing with is, the idea of, hey, we're going to wrap up an arm, but anytime, it's like the onus is on you, is the jiu-jitsu player, to build. And this is one of the hard things about jiu-jitsu, because jiu-jitsu is very hard to explain to somebody for them to develop a mental picture of it. It's like if I throw a 1,000-piece puzzle out in front of you and I say, put it together, but I don't give you the box, so you don't know what the picture is that you're putting together. You're just like, I think it's this, or maybe it's that. And as you kind of build it out, you develop an idea, but your idea of what it is isn't really what it is when it's done. Maybe your idea is close or not. It depends, right? So it's kind of hard to articulate it a lot. So then what happens is the practitioner, we have to have like a mental context in our head as we're doing it. So in the match or when we're sparring, I'm like, okay, I'm going for armbar. And in my head, I have to know, like, okay, load up the options that are on armbar. I know that I can spin under. If the leg's up, I'm going to hook to the ankle. If he pulls out, maybe I'll get triangle. Maybe I'll go for the knee. But that's on you to develop as the practitioner. Like, you have to build that mental model in your head. And in a weird way, training like this is forcing us to exercise the intellect more than we're exercising the body. And there's kind of this gut reaction that we have as humans, especially when we're doing anything physical, And then we add on, like, if we were just like shoveling rocks, then okay, like maybe we would get some technique. But when you add another person to it, and now this other person is like fighting back against you and you're fighting against them, and then there's this other element to it that kind of ups the pressure, and you're like, ah, and it's easy to devolve into like, I'm not sure what to do, so I'm just gonna like, I'm gonna put sauce on it. Especially dudes, like I'm gonna muscle up, I'm gonna squeeze, like I know I'm hella strong, or I'm gonna do this, or I'm gonna pull out really hard. And you kind of can get away with that for a while, but it's hardly ever the answer. Even if it works, it's usually not the answer, right? It's like, I could use a hammer with a nail instead of a screw. Like I could do that. There's times when I need a screw and I could just use a hammer and put a nail in it, but it's probably not the right idea, right? It might work temporarily, but it's not long-term. And if I get used to that, then suddenly that becomes the answer to all my problems. Everything is whack, hit it with the hammer, whack, hit it with the hammer, hit it with the hammer. And then when you look at my overall architecture of my jiu-jitsu game, it looks like somebody built it with just a hammer and a nail. It looks crappy, right? It doesn't work. It's not portable. I can't grow with it. I can't use it. It's restricting, and you end up building this little fortress for yourself that you get stuck in. All right. So if we can kind of exercise the intellectual part of what we're doing more than we're exercising the physical, put sauce on it, that part of it, like this time is forcing us to exercise the intellect. It's gonna pay dividends, I promise you, but you have to kind of make that commitment, and it's kind of scary to do it. The nice thing about now is we're forced to do it. We have to do it. So if you can kind of like put your brain into those pathways and make this into an intellectual exercise, I promise you, when we get on the other side of it and you get back into class, you might have a little issues like getting your timing back, getting some cardio back or whatever, but that mind's going to be right. That context is going to be right. And you're going to see a development in your jiu-jitsu that you didn't have before. And that's why sometimes it's helpful. You're like, oh, I'm going to go on vacation for 2 weeks. I'm not going to train jiu-jitsu. Oh man, it's going to suck and blah, blah, blah. And then you go off and you let all those mental neurons and the ditches that you dug in your brain that are bad ditches that you're stuck in, the ruts, they kind of get cleared out by that break, because you're not thinking about jiu-jitsu. You're not doing jiu-jitsu. Like, whatever that stuff is in your head, it kind of gets like flushed out and smoothed out. And then you come back, and sometimes you come back and you're better because you stop making those stupid mistakes or kind of diverting into those bad habits that you kept falling into over and over. And every time you do the wrong thing, it strengthens that pathway in your brain. Like, boom, oh, I did it again. Boom, oh, I did it again. That's what a habit is, right? That's why it takes a while to build a habit, because you have to strengthen that connection in your head. So the habits we're building now is like, we're going to not do the bad physical muscle up crazy thing. And we're going to exercise the brain and go like, this is the right way. This is the thing. This is the thing. This is the thing, with the hopes that when we can get back into class and really train this with our partners, that we will have set some new pathways down for us to learn from. So it's all an opportunity, man. And we're trying to make the best out of it. Are there any other questions? Anybody who's oh, let me see what the comments are on YouTube real quick. So triangle armbar looks 2 billion leg attacks. Gotcha. Yeah, you got it. That's what's up. I love you, Don. George Ruiz. Okay. The match we're going to look at right now is Eddie Bravo, Royler Gracie. This is ADCC 1. Not one. This is their first match that they had. Obviously, they had 2 matches. And my opinion, Eddie won both of them, even though Metamoris was a draw. But, you know, it was, if there were points, if you had to judge it, you would give it to Eddie. Let's look at ADCC. This was kind of a big deal. Eddie at the time was a brown belt. And a lot of people, you know, kind of forget how good Royler was at jiu-jitsu. Like, competitively speaking, Royler was a real big name in the jiu-jitsu world. Maybe not in absolutes, because he's not a super big guy, you know, but on the competition scene, Royler was one of the top dogs, and Eddie was relatively unknown at this point. And so we're in ADCC. this may have been a semifinal or a quarterfinal match. This wasn't even the final match, right? But it was such a big deal because a relatively unknown guy shows up at ADCC and submits Hoyler, who up at that time had not been submitted. I don't believe he'd been submitted no gi at all. I think he'd been submitted in the gi by who was that guy? One of these OG dudes who's like way bigger than him in an absolute had tapped Hoyler with a clock choke, but you know, it was like quite a big size differential here. Okay, so let me fire this up and we'll talk about it.
Never really lifted weights before, but once I won the trials,
and this is Eddie commenting.
This fight ended up being in May of the next year, so I had like a little over 6 months to prepare for this tournament, the granddaddy of them all, Abu Dhabi, in Brazil for the first time, on national TV live, going against Hoyler Gracie. I mean, this is it. I mean, this is what every lightweight fighter dreams of, getting the chance to roll with Hoyler Gracie. I mean, this was it.
You can see the distance management already is on. Like,
lure him into my half guard, and he doesn't really want to go into it first, but there he goes, right into my half guard.
pulls him in.
Like I was saying earlier, once I won the trials, I knew that, I mean, I'm going to Brazil and I'm going to fight against legends, you know, the top guys. So immediately I had to start weightlifting. And Jamie Walsh, the guy I got in a twister earlier, he was ended up being my personal trainer. He got me in shape.
You can see he's already setting up this like electric chair style system, but Hoyler's
pretty damn strong.
Top pressure is so damn strong. Eddie's going to try to winch him over. He doesn't quite have a lockdown yet.
This guy had never been scored upon in Abu Dhabi competition. He's won every year he's been in. I mean, this was the reigning champion. Passing my guard there, but I put him right back in.
And he steps over, slides that in.
Head and arm control from the top. He would not let me have my left underhook. He would not give it to me. He knew the importance of that underhook from half guard. He would not let me have it. It was so tight. As you can see, my left arm is over the top. It's not underneath. Try to put him back into my half guard.
And there's the lockdown. Like, it's probably not super tight, given that there's not a lot of tension with Eddie's leg.
Not much really going on here in the beginning of this fight.
Looks like he let it go.
But I have, you know, I haven't been in like quarter guard is what I call it. I'm trying to put him into half guard. He's my left hook. There we go. Now he's back into half guard. There we go. Needed that left butterfly hook to open it up.
Nice. And you see how Eddie's starting to use his right hand. Not a ton, but a little bit. You start seeing signs of that pimp arm come in where he's trying to take his right hand out and extend it on Hoyler's knee.
Not give me that left underhook.
There it is again. He's flirting with it on and off there.
So all I could really do here basically was just hold him again. You ready? Yep. Got a close-up of the lockdown there. Now he's got good head and arm control. Still, he's squeezing. There's not much I can do from here. I can do the stomp, but I'll admit I was pretty cautious about doing the stomp. I was like, man, if I try it, he's gonna pass my guard again. So I was pretty cautious. So back to the center of the ring. He's got a good head and arm control. Got him in my half guard lockdown. All that was really available here was, I mean, my right arm was totally free. It's my left arm that's jacked. So in a second here, I'm going to underhook his left leg with my right arm. See that? Right there. And then I don't really feel like I'm trying to put him back into full guard, but man, his left leg is just in the right spot. This guy's just way too experienced to let me put him back in the full guard. I cannot get him in full guard. He's almost passing here again.
Yeah, Hoyler's really good with his knee.
He's got his right knee through.
We watched the knee line fight.
Guard again.
He's always winning that knee line fight.
He's thinking about passing. Slide his knee right to my right side.
Somewhere in here,
holding onto that header.
Eddie's got some real good jailbreak recoveries where he slips. We'll show you from side control where he slips his foot in. And this is a great example. This is, in this example right here, Hoyler is coronavirus and Eddie is us getting smashed by it, right? And we're trying to be chill and not panic.
It's pretty crazy.
It seems like Hoyler's really fighting, in my opinion, a little too hard to pass to side when you have the opportunity to go to quarter mount or get mount with giving into the quarter guard prior to this situation here.
So now he's past my guard. Still trying to take his back. Oh, but I sweep him.
That was nice. Good reversal.
It was that right arm that hooked his left leg and just powered him over. Now I'm in his guard, and I am a little worried about getting caught.
Trying to set up a triangle right there.
Worried, but I'm safe now. Now I'm going to sit back for 100%. Right there. I usually get guys right there with 100%. But man, he has no shoulder. His shoulder was non-existent. Jointed shoulder thing. There we go with the jailbreak. Put him right back in
There's the jailbreak. You see how he took his outside foot and threaded it in? Watch this. Right there. He's going to take his leg. He grabs it with his hand and jams it into the hip.
You know, those rumors about his shoulder are absolutely true. He just went right through one of my money moves. It's a little shoulder sweep. Right here.
We got a YouTube commercial. Damn BJJ fanatics.
I'm realizing, wow.
I'm Bernardo for real?
Thought I had him. Thought he was just right into my trap. I got him in full guard, but it took a 3/4 guard. Now,
Finally got the full guard. Playing rubber guard.
I know what I wanted. Got him up in mission control. And of course, his left hand, right hand to the mat. I wasn't going to London yet here. That would have been great. I would have been going to London here. My game has already changed. Right here, I'm thinking, man, I mean, I have an omoplata if I want it, but I really don't think I can pull off an omoplata on him after feeling his shoulder just totally resist my 100% shoulder sweep. I'm thinking the only way I'm going to be able to get this guy is with a triangle. Is all I'm thinking about. But I'm just thinking about how I'm going to set it up. I know I got a couple minutes left. The fight's almost over. I'm actually thinking, man, I need way more time. If I just had a limited amount of time, I could just set him up for anything. But time's running out. I know he's ahead on points. I mean, he's you know, he has, you know, he does not hesitate to stall. He'll stall. You know, he's known for that, actually. When he fought Barrett Yoshida, he didn't really do much. So I knew this was going to be hard, and I wasn't totally sure I could do this. So I'm thinking about faking an omoplata and then going to a triangle. Just I hate time limits. Now he passes my guard. Bam! Blasted right through. Now I'm going to jailbreak him back in.
Again, he grabs his top foot and slides it in.
I got the overhook on his right arm.
Overhook.
Then I'm going to grab his wrist.
And he traps. And now he's, check this out.
Bang!
Boom.
On.
There it is.
I knew all I had to do was cinch it on and it was over. I knew he wouldn't be able to get out. The only thing I was worried about was the time. Do I have enough time? I'm squeezing. Is there enough time? Are they going to fucking blow the whistle? Tap, dude. Tap, tap, tap. I finally pulled his head down and he tapped. And it was over. It was over. I raised my hands, walked around the mat, like I was a king, but inside I was like, oh, what the fuck just happened?
Let's watch that again.
Pretending here that I'm the man, but inside I was just like, man, he passes my guard. Bam!
The guard pass actually set it up. So he gets an overhook and he trapped Hoyler's arm. Watch.
I got the overhook.
So watch. He overhooked with his left arm right here. Eddie's left arm is overhooking, and then Eddie's right arm that you can't see is going to trap Hoyler's left arm.
On his right arm with my left arm. Then I'm going to grab his wrist.
Boom, right there. You see the trap? Now Hoyler's trapped. All right, so his Hoyler's right arm is committed. He can't pull it out. Eddie's trapped Hoyler's left arm, and he's going to subtract it, right? Triangle math is one arm in, one arm out. Eddie's doing some arithmetic now. He's going to shoot his right leg through.
That's the key. He can't pull back because of the overhook. Bam, the triangle.
But he does something really interesting that all high-level triangle guys do is instead of just rushing to the triangle and shooting the triangle leg through, they clamp with the other leg first to break posture. It's a Ryan Hall does it a lot. BJ Penn, you see Eddie Bravo's going to do it right here. Watch. You see this leg right here? He's clamped his left leg around Hoyler's back before he shoots his right triangle leg through. Then the right triangle leg goes through. One more time.
Blasted right through.
So you'll see the traps and you'll see the leg.
Here we go. I got the overhook on his right arm with my left arm. Then I'm
watch his left leg.
That's the key. He can't
see the clamp
because of the overhook.
The left leg clamp, and then the right leg came through.
I knew all I had to do was cinch.
Beautiful.
I knew he wouldn't be able to get out. The only thing I was worried about was the time. Do I have enough time? I'm squeezing. Is there enough time? Are they gonna fucking blow the whistle? Tap, dude, tap, tap, tap. Finally pulled his head down and he tapped. And it was over. It was over. I raised my hands, walked around the mat like I was a king, but inside I was like, oh, what the fuck just happened? I'm basically pretending here that I'm the man, but inside I was just like, man, what the fuck just happened? Did I really fucking do that shit?
What an awesome match,
Brazil,
man.
On live Brazilian TV and tap Hoyler Gracie? Oh shit. And here the truth comes out. The little baby inside of me just came out. I just started bawling, crying like a little bitch. I couldn't contain myself. I've never had tears of joy before. Never knew what the hell that felt like. He tapped like 7 or 8 times with the right hand and then finished off with the left. I wanted to make sure there was no controversy.
Doing little baby taps too. So yeah, man, that's an iconic match there. You know, lot of jujitsu going on in these matches, and the reason why we're watching them is I'm trying to help you guys understand, like, one, you know, what's going on in a match and how to break a match down, how to watch it. There's things that we have to pay attention to, like especially like when you're watching something start. A match is just like a chess game or a book, right? There's a beginning, a middle, and an end. And sometimes it's really fast. It's a short story. And sometimes it's a little more drawn out, but it's important to pay attention to those. And the more that you can watch jujitsu matches and break them down and find the subtleties, not just, hey, he got the big arm bar, like that's obvious, but what happened before the arm bar? That's where the real secret sauce is. So like, yeah, he got the triangle. That was dope. But what were the 2 or 3 things that led up to that happened? And you could see that, like, that jailbreak guard recovery that Eddie kept doing, where he would take his foot and slide it in and recover his guard. It ended up being the thing that set up the triangle in the end. Because when he got that jailbreak in the next time, as Hoyler tried to come around, he overwrapped and trapped his hand. And once he got the overwrap and the hand trap, you know, it was basically up to him to not mess it up. So yeah, good stuff, man. I encourage you guys to stick with it. Stay with the drills. So on Friday, when we meet back, we're going to do those 5 solo drills again. All right. In the meantime, check the Facebook, our Facebook page. There's some instructions there on how to build a grappling dummy if you want to. It's not that much. It doesn't take that long to do. And it works for now. Right. So, and you can get creative. as you're doing it. And I encourage you to do that. This is your jujitsu, right? This is where we're at, and this is how we're training right now. So you're still a student, you're still learning, you're still developing as a martial artist. It's just this is the way we're doing it, man. In jujitsu, the number one thing that you take away from jujitsu, if you don't take anything else away, you win in jujitsu by surviving. All right. That's the number one thing. You win by surviving. And right now, we're surviving. We're not giving up. We're not walking away. We're making improvements. We're putting the work in, and we're surviving. And I promise you, if you stick with this and you put your time into this and you don't give up during this time period, you're going to be that much stronger in your commitment when it's time to go back. It's going to make a difference for you, and you're going to see the difference in yourself versus folks that just totally fall off the wagon. And it happens all the time in jiu-jitsu. Unfortunately, in the length of, I've been training for a long time now, I've seen lots of people come and go for numerous reasons, like it's St. Patrick's Day, and then the guy never came back for like 6 months, like, dude, what happened? Or what, like any kind of reason. So, this is one of those big things, and this is going to clear the plate a little bit. We're going to find out who really wants it and who really doesn't want it. And, to develop mastery in jiu-jitsu or anything that's really valuable, it takes a lot of dedication and a lot of work and a lot of sacrifice and a lot of effort. Over a long period of time. And that's what we're doing right now, is putting the work in, making the sacrifice, putting the effort in. So thank you guys for showing up today. I really appreciate it. Spread the love. Everyone's invited. It's live on YouTube and Zoom, and we're doing whatever we can, man, to make this work. So thank you guys so much. If you have any questions, please hit me up. Instagram, Inside BJJ Academy, 10th Planet Stockton. If you guys want to see stuff or you want some matches broken down or whatever, man, this is our time together, okay? Let's keep doing it. All right, guys? All right. Thank you so much, all right?
Thank you
all right,
so
guys.
much.
Yes, love you guys, all right? I'll see you guys soon.
Bye.
All right, bye.